What is going on, guys? Toogie back here for Squared Circle Reviews, and this will be my Money in the Bank 2013 review. Normally I'll try and keep these short, but normally they end up going a bit long, so we'll see what happens. Starting off the show, or the pre-show, the kickoff show, whatever the hell you want to call it, Sunday Night Heat, don't care. Shield and the Usos, I thought it was a solid match. It was a decent tag match. The fans were really behind it. The crowd was really hot for this, so that definitely helped them out. Um, I mean, the I'd like to say you could just see this match on Raw with the quality of matches the Shield has been having in the past few months, but I feel like that'd be taken away from it a little bit. But overall, it was just a solid tag team match. The crowd was behind it. The Shield retained with a pretty nice spot, to end the match. Usos, it was pretty much like an Undertaker spot. I think it was Jimmy Uso, he's doing the 10 punches in the corner. Rollins gets him out, blind tag from Reigns, buckle bomb followed by a spear. So it was very nicely done. It's a solid way to, get you ready for Money in the Bank. First match of the night, or officially on the pay-per-view, was the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank ladder match. Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Dean Ambrose, Fandango, Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro, and Damien Sandow. It was good for a Money in the Bank ladder match. It was nothing really too over the top. I thought overall everyone ended up looking really well in this match. There were some solid spots. Fandango hitting a power bomb off the top of the ladder, float over power bomb. Ambrose got to show off some athleticism, which was pretty cool to see. But I felt like the finish was just a bit flat. Cody Rhodes is climbing up the ladder. Everyone's down. Fans are popping. Everyone's thinking, okay, this is it. After, what has it been now, 6 years? 5, 6 years? I think Cody Rhodes debuted in '07. Either way, you can tell the crowd is thinking, a heel crowd in Philadelphia is thinking, all right, finally Cody Rhodes is going to get what he deserves. And then he gets screwed over, gets pulled off the ladder by Damien Sandow. So it was a really weird reaction to have Cody Rhodes, an established heel for the past few years, look like he's finally going to get his big break, to have another heel that people like take it away from him. It was just a really weird reaction, a really weird dynamic. But Damien Sandow is now the holder of the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank. I'm excited for it, he's been here for just over a year. He and Rhodes have pretty much been jobbing over the last few months, but that's what people say. If guys have been jobbing the past few months, eventually this is the event where they get what they get their due, which is why a lot of people thought this was where Wade Barrett would finally go over, including myself. But overall, it was a solid opener. The crowd was behind it. You could tell that they were a bit confused from the ending, but a solid match. Curtis Axel and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. This was just a match you could see on Raw. They did some stuff with Paul Heyman. He eventually got kicked out of ringside, so they were pretty much just hyping up the fact that, Curtis Axel, he can go on his own. He beats The Miz. He keeps his momentum wave going. He's kind of, I don't want to. He's hit a momentary plateau. At least at the point of this match, it's kind of like, okay, he's here. He's having title matches and winning. That's where he is. And The Miz, my God, man, what are they going to do with him? He has just been absolutely dreadful throughout this face run. I won't say I'm a fan of his, but it's not like I'm not going to shit on the guy. He's doing what he can. No one can doubt how, he's a solid wrestler at this point. It's been, 7 years now? He knows what he's doing in there. But right now, he's just floundering around. He has Kofi Kingston syndrome. They just don't know what to do with him. He's still putting on decent matches, but he's just stuck. AJ Lee versus Caitlyn, not as good as their match at Payback in Chicago, but still a solid match. Obviously, there wasn't as much story to this match as the last one. But overall, it was solid. They really, I thought they did a decent job of, selling Caitlyn's arm. Although it was weird how the finish, which was the Black Widow, Octopus Hold, whatever, that AJ won with, she was, putting the torque on the opposite arm she had been working on all match. I may be mistaken, but I'm quite sure that's how it went. I'm pretty sure Caitlyn, hit the spear with the left arm, but then the Octopus Hold focused on the right arm. So it was really weird. But for a Divas match, it was solid. Not as good as their last match, as I said, but you know, better. It was better than Divas match you'll see on Raw. You know, you have to judge. I'm sorry, but you have to judge Divas matches on a different level, a different scale. It was solid for what it was. Ryback versus Chris Jericho. My God, this just reminded me so much of Goldberg versus Chris Jericho from Bad Blood '03. I mean, it was just. It was another solid match, something you'd normally see as probably a Raw or SmackDown main event. But as a middle of a card pay-per-view show, that's a good thing. I mean, it was a solid match. The finish was a bit weird. Jericho misses a lion salt and Ryback rolls him up with the laziest schoolboy I have ever seen. I mean, Divas, again, I hate to, just shit on the Divas so much, but it really was that bad of a schoolboy. And I mean, it did not go over well. I get it, you're kind of moving in a different direction with Ryback, but he's still supposed to be a monster heel. And then he wins a match against Chris Jericho with a lazy roll-up. It just didn't look right. The match itself was decent, nothing too special, as I said. Something you could see on Raw or SmackDown every week in the main event spot, maybe just a step below it. But it was what it was. Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler. I think everyone was afraid that there was going to be, just some kind of screw-over ending where, eventually Ziggler doesn't regain the title, and that is exactly what happened. I didn't expect AJ Lee to be the reason why Ziggler didn't win the belt back, but, she was. Apparently disqualification's enough, just, grabbing a foot on the rope and everything, but, I don't know. ADR is still the champion. He will go down as one of the least memorable champions of all time. He really will. He's a solid guy in ring, but just overall, his title reigns just have not been memorable whatsoever. Fans are obviously really behind Ziggler, so it sucks to see this happen. So obviously, I don't expect Sandow to cash in anytime soon, although ADR second ADR loses that title, he's back to doing nothing. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't expect Sandow to cash in anytime soon, so I imagine there'll be a third match between ADR and Ziggler. Maybe throw someone else in there just to make it interesting. But hopefully, Ziggler wins the belt back by SummerSlam or at SummerSlam, holds it for a few months, loses it to Sandow, gets his rematch at the Rumble and loses, leading possibly to Sandow holding the world title heading into WrestleMania next year. I could easily see that happening at this point. John Cena versus Mark Henry. Very good for a Mark Henry match, and probably very good for a Cena match. I mean, it's your classic Cena match where there's, a lot of near falls, and they do, just like every other Cena match, really, whenever he's champion, they did a very nice job of, making you believe in, really capturing the fans with near falls and false finishes. I thought it was very well done. Yeah, I mean, there's really not too much to say. This match actually was able to, suck me into it. It was a solid match. Pretty much, as if you could not tell already, that is just the theme of the show. It was a solid show, top to bottom. Nothing really too out of control. Nothing where you're gonna say match of the year. It was just a solid show. Main event: Rob Van Dam, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Christian, and Randy Orton. No Bray Wyatt, no replacement for Kane. It just was what it was. What it was a good Money in the Bank ladder match. Fans were really over for Punk, Bryan, and Rob Van Dam as expected. Some really good spots in there as expected. I think the one that really sticks out in my mind right now was pretty much the ending spot. RVD's climbing up the ladder, people are going crazy. Orton grabs his foot, pulls him off the ladder, and hits him with an RKO as he falls over. Randy Orton is the WWE Money in the Bank holder. Now, most of the internet's going to be very pissed about this. I wouldn't say I'm pissed. I'm a bit surprised. You have a guy, Orton, who has been ready to turn heel for 2 damn years now at least. And you're telling me that the only creative thing, you can't find a way for him to turn heel. So rather than giving him a title, you give him the Money in the Bank to keep him relevant. I just well, let me go back to this. During the match, Daniel Bryan was attacked. He was attacked by Curtis Axel, which led to CM Punk laying out Curtis Axel, which led to Heyman cursing out an unconscious, Curtis Axel, which led to Heyman attacking Punk with a ladder and costing him the match. So obviously what this is more than likely going to lead up to, in my opinion, well, it could be two things. It could either be, Lesnar versus Punk at SummerSlam. By the way, if I think that happens, the last Raw before SummerSlam will see Punk versus Heyman in a match on Raw. Quote me on that. It's been done too many times before. And it could lead to Daniel Bryan versus Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental title, which does no good for either guy. Because if Axel wins, Daniel Bryan's momentum slows down. If Bryan wins, Curtis Axel's momentum is completely dead. The other thing this could lead to is a tag team match between, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk against Brock Lesnar and Curtis Axel. So I don't know. I really don't see the point in going this direction. I'm on board with everyone else. I think Daniel Bryan really should have won it here. Would it have been predictable? Yes, but who cares? That's what should have happened. If not, I don't think anyone really expected RVD to win this match. But compared to Orton winning, I think Van Dam should have won. I just think there's so many better things. I hate the current system where it's just, oh, we don't have anything to do with this guy. Let's give him a title until we figure it out. You could have turned Orton heel in so many ways by now. So it's just really lazy booking on their part. But yeah, Randy Orton wins, and that was the end of Money in the Bank. Like I said, a solid show, top to bottom. Some questionable things throughout, including, mainly people just being shocked and, maybe disappointed that Damian Sandow won the World Heavyweight title Money in the Bank over Cody Rhodes. Ziggler not winning back the world title, which very well could happen in SummerSlam now at this point. And, Mark Henry having probably the last great match of his career. And then Randy Orton winning Money in the Bank when, someone like RVD or Daniel Bryan very well should have. Which is going to lead up, like I said, to either a CM Punk Lesnar, Bryan Axel match at SummerSlam, or a tag match between the four. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. This was a very spur-of-the-moment review. I didn't, a lot of pauses and breaks on my part, I'm sure, throughout this whole thing. I could realize that as I was talking. But I just wanted to get this out there. Reviews for me, it's just, my interest in wrestling is just, it's so wavering lately. One day I'll be interested, the next day I won't be. After Monday, after Raw on Monday, I was very hyped for this event, but coming into the event tonight, I was like, nah, we'll see what happens. So without me rambling on too much longer, thank you guys for watching. I should be back sooner rather than later. But that was Money in the Bank, a solid show top to bottom. In terms, usually I rate something in terms of would I have been mad if I paid money for this event? No, I wouldn't have. It was a solid show. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching / listening, and I will see you next time.